Now to the disaster in the city of San Francisco out in California. Once one of America's most beautiful cities, today the homeless crisis and crime there steadily destroying a city that was voted America's most beautiful city not that long ago, to the point where a GMA reporter, Good Morning America reporter Matt Gutman, told viewers why he wouldn't report from downtown San Francisco. Let's listen.
But it is worth mentioning that we are not at Union Square or the Westfield Mall this morning because we have been advised it is simply too dangerous.
Okay, if you haven't been to San Francisco, Union Square is like one of the most popular, most beautiful parts of the city. Businesses have continued to abandon the city of San Francisco over safety concerns. And joining us now for more, the chairman of the San Francisco GOP, John Dennis, former Massachusetts Congressman Barney Frank, and here on set once again with us, GOP strategist Krysia Lenzo. Great to have you all on. John, I'd like to start with you. Take us through it. What's going on out there? How bad is it?
Well, one point to make is that Union Square used to have the most expensive retail real estate in America. And the fact that ABC felt uncomfortable to shoot from there says a lot about what's going on. Well, look, I mean, we are the worst managed city in America. The problems that we're talking about now are the same problems we were talking about 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. When Gavin Newsom was mayor, 20 years ago is when we were talking about it. So and the city just cannot... It cannot get out of its way. And more importantly, I think, and more disturbing, is that it's corruption that's keeping this train wreck afloat. People make a lot of money off of the homeless industrial complex. And one good point I can make, however, is that the city feels like the city's about to turn around, that people are sort of sick of it. And as we face 50% commercial office vacancy rates, I think you're going to see a lot more impetus for change.
Imagine that, 50% vacancy rates in commercial real estate in a city like San Francisco. Congressman, good morning. Good to see you. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., so he's running for president against Joe Biden in the primaries. I know you're very familiar with the family. He posted this video to social media yesterday. He was out in San Francisco, and he wanted to give everybody at home an idea of how bad the homelessness problem is there. Take a look.
This is the Mission District south of Market. This is one of hundreds of street corners in San Francisco that has been occupied now by the homeless, by plastic shanties, by tents, and by people who are sleeping in the open air. Part of the problem is mental illness and drug addiction, but it's not the entire problem. In fact, we can solve the homeless problem in this country. If you look at
Congressman, can I just get your thoughts on how something goes so bad in a place that is known to be such a bucolic, especially downtown San Francisco, such a gorgeous urban environment?
Sure, although I'm sorry you cut Robert Kennedy off before he said how to solve the problem. He said we can solve this problem, but then the clip ended. I would love to hear his views on how to solve the problem, and maybe you'll get back to that. As far as the cause of the problem, it is in
I'll
some
just
ways,
paraphrase, Congressman. Just in the interest of time, we cut it off because we have three guests, and I want to make sure you have a lot of time to speak. He said that Section 8 and housing vouchers are going to be the best solution, much like, by the way, what they did in the city of Boston, your hometown, in the South End not that long ago.
By the way, that means more federal money. If that's what he's talking about, I'm in agreement. But Section 8 is a federally funded program to subsidize poor people's rents. It has unfortunately not gotten the funding it should have. So I'm all for that, although I would also like to see some construction. As to what the problem is an ironic thing. In many ways, given America today, wealth is good for the people who enjoy it, but it causes problems for others. One of the problems in San Francisco is that precisely because of the wealth of the high-tech industry and the people who make so much money there, housing prices have been driven very high. Part of the homeless problem, by no means all of it, there's mental illness and other parts of it, but part of it is that housing costs have been driven so high by the competition. There are places that used to be for lower income people that have now become very desirable for the wealthy. Yeah. So, as I said, ironically, it is precisely the great wealth in parts of the area that have exacerbated the problem of homelessness.
Yeah, Congressman, you know what nobody's mentioning here?
Nonsense. That's nonsense.
Go ahead, John.
No, it's nonsense. I mean, it's not. This is not a housing problem. San Francisco has become a magnet, a regional hub for drug addiction. People who want to live the drug-addicted lifestyle come from Carson City, Redding, Fresno, all over the place to be drug addicts here. That's the problem.
Okay, Krysia,
I would say the
jump in.
problem is also the Democrat leadership that we're seeing.
Don't affect anything. Homelessness is
Very
clearly
little. Look,
partly by
95% of the homeless on the streets in San Francisco are not from San Francisco.
With all due respect,
Let me bring in Krysia Lenzo.
Yeah,
Krysia,
I think that the problem really has to do a lot with the lack of leadership in San Francisco and California more generally. I mean, we have Gavin Newsom, the leader over there in the state. We have Joe Biden visiting California, just this week, trying to wrangle his donors, saying that climate change is the #1 issue in California, saying he's going to pledge $600 million to fight climate change. I mean, clearly, San Francisco, California, and more generally does need funding to help these homeless populations, but it has to go to the right hands. And with the federal government and in California more generally, the leadership is just not there.
I'm so glad you bring that up. We are 5 minutes into this segment. Congressman John, no one has mentioned the name London Breed, the mayor of San Francisco. Gavin Newsom, fine, former mayor of San Francisco, governor of the state. London Breed, this was her comment a day ago about the crime. Crime is, first of all, it was at a record last year, record bad. So when you're coming from a record bad, it's tough to go up from there. Her comment, quote, "The reality is that the number of violent crimes in the downtown is down so far this year when compared to the same time last year. Last year, of course, we set a record." John, 15 seconds, final thought.
Who's reporting the crime? By the way, it's not just London Breed. Democrats have run San Francisco for 50 years. They've run it into the ground. We actually need more Republican leadership in San Francisco.
Yeah, I agree with you. Okay, we'll pick this conversation up again soon. Congressman, good to see you. Krysia, a pleasure as always. John Dennis, thank you for being with us. We appreciate it. All right, lots more coming up this morning here on Wake Up America. Stay with us.